Dickey here, and giving my weekly update on what happened in the marketplace and some of the trends that we saw going over the week. As we talked about before, stocks I was looking for on Monday were Activision, Pinterest, Energizer, Chegg, Spirit Airlines. And again, what we're looking for are trends. What we're able to see is that Activision did well and the market rewarded them. Chegg did poorly and the market crushed them. Pinterest did poorly, market crushed them. Energizer did poorly and the market crushed them. So, I mean, it's what we're looking for, and what it gave us is the rewarding people that the companies that are doing well, they're crushing the ones that aren't doing well. And we also found on Tuesday, as I was just talking about, we had Yum, Royal Caribbean, BP Oil, and again, same trend continued, which is again what we're looking for here, because previously this wasn't happening. We were having stocks, even though they were doing well, being sold off for no reason. Now, please understand, if you have a stock that's at an all-time and 52-week high and it goes into their earnings and they do well, okay, they can get sold off. Now, they shouldn't get crushed, okay, but sometimes they're just way too high. Wednesday was the big day, and we talked about this earlier when I was explaining this last week. Disney came out and the main reason for that is it was the first quarter for Iger to come back. And for all intents and purposes, he did everything everybody expected him to do. In fact, the activist basically saying that everything is done. Now, that doesn't mean it's all fixed. It's going to be done tomorrow, but things are going in the right direction, and what needed to be addressed got addressed. Uber came out, did very, very well, and the market responded. Yum did the same thing. The one I wasn't paying attention to that kind of caught my eye after the fact was Duke Energy. In fact, I caught an interview, several comments from the CEO, which she did a great job on. But one of the interesting parts of that was they took a $1.5 billion charge on renewables, and basically were saying that they had gotten into it to see if it was a sustainable business. And without saying that it wasn't sustainable, she basically said it wasn't sustainable because they're selling out of it. And Becky and her group over at CNBC were having the conversation with her about it, an interview with her, and they kept asking her if that's what she meant, and she wouldn't come out and actually say it. But again, that's in essence is what she's saying, that basically without the incentives from the federal government, it really wasn't sustainable. So anyway, take that with what you wish. Thursday, we had AbbVie, Pepsi, and one of them I told you about to keep an eye on, which was Dexcom, but we also got Tapestry and Ralph Lauren. So again, a lot of these were really, really provided positive enforcement for what they did. Dexcom was a big one, like I said, because it was a high flyer, had a good quarter, everything kind of went the right way, and again, it's not being punished. More importantly, on Tuesday, we had a meeting that wasn't even a regular Fed funds meeting, where Powell spoke, and the market kind of responded in a positive way. Now, if we hadn't had this little rally on Tuesday, we probably would have ended up the week a lot. As you guys can see, we've got our trends. Let's go back to the beginning. And now I'm only doing this up to the 9th because, this is before the market opens on Friday the 10th. So for the week, the NASDAQ down 1.8%, S&P's down 1.3%, and the Dow's down 0.6%. Now, given the fact for the year, the Dow's up 1%, S&P's up 6%, and the NASDAQ's still up 12%, the fact that this week was more negative towards the NASDAQ versus the Dow, again, it shouldn't be completely out of the realm. I mean, when you're seeing 12 times, it shouldn't be that way. So we're probably seeing some selling from some profits, taking some profit off the table here for the week, and that's okay. We're basically down about, again, it's 1% for the week, so it's not horrible by any stretch of the imagination. So that's a good thing. We're seeing the Dow kind of coming back a little bit, which is good. We want to see the 3-to-1 ratio, not 12-to-1. But the overall trends are still there. As you can see, NASDAQ, S&P, and Dow are all up significantly from the bottom. But they seem to have hit that 20% range and kind of bounced back off of it. So, what we're looking for are trends, and hoping this doesn't go too much more than maybe a 5 or 7% retrenchment before we start going back up. But again, we're still down 26% on the NASDAQ from its high. Now, next week, we've got the CPI report and some other things, and we'll talk about that down the road. But what this week actually told us is that we're continuing the same trend. Inflation is still a hot topic. Now we've got a new word from Powell, which is disinflation or deflation. I should say. And again, depends on how the market's going to take this. I mean, after he spoke, the market went up, and basically since then we've been on a downtrend. Question is, how far does that go? And what happens next week? So again, we're looking for trends. The trends are still solid. We're having a little bit of a pullback here. And, the question remains whether this is a chance for someone to buy into this, pullback and to continue to go on, or is it something bigger? And at this point, we're not seeing any trends that are overly negative or any more negative than what we've had, but we are continuing to see the stocks perform in a normal fashion. And when we have some stocks we talked about last week, like Apple and Google and Amazon, if you have some mediocre in Microsoft, we have mediocre quarters. Again, they're not being crushed. Now, we did see Microsoft come out this week with an not upbeat, but the stock was relatively upbeat this week based on the AI thing that they came out with, and Google got crushed because of what they're doing on AI and the concerns that AI is just going to destroy Google's model. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But those are the trends for the week. Wanted to give you an update. Dickey out.